So we're back. Make note this box says 2007. So I think that's how old the decals are. Quite old indeed. The actual build itself, not too many parts of course. But painting the canopy is really difficult because the height difference between what's clear and not is very, very shallow. The actual palette is molded into the thing, as you can see. But the actual fitment, not so bad. Yeah, nothing majorly wrong that I can recall. I didn't bother painting this character, although it is here somewhere. I just primed it. Alright, anyhow. So those decals being so old, I did have some cracks going on, so that's unfortunate. And then, for some reason, they're not grouped together well. They're just, yeah, maybe not the greatest decals. You could go with this version, of course, though. Alright. But looking at this thing, it's really cool. I really like the deformation of this thing. It's so short and stubby looking. It's really neat. So I used Vallejo paints. Those are water-based acrylics. I primed it first and then shot this grayish color over it. And then I decaled the thing and then I put some clear coat Vallejo over it, because I want to use that to protect the decals from getting torn up by the rattle can matte clear coat. So I find the matte clear coat from Vallejo isn't very matte, but rattle can, certain brands of rattle can, this is a very matte finish, right? There's no reflection at all compared to the glossiness of that cockpit, right? All right, so very few details on this casting though. There's a few on the rudder here, but there's no body cracks or rivet marks or nothing. It's just smooth. I guess it makes it easy to put the decal on, but anyhow. Okay, so these are all independent. That's why I wrote not grouped. These twos you see here, as to why there's 3 twos on a wingtip, I don't know. But these are 3 individual decals. Why wouldn't they just group all 3 of them into one decal? That's a mystery to me. I literally had to apply those 3 decals, these 3 decals, these 2 decals, right? There's 10 number 2s on this airplane, and I had to apply each one individually. So that's really easy, right? Okay, I think may have mixed up these lights. Yeah, these big lights here are supposed to be up here, and this is supposed to be here, but I wasn't paying attention. Yeah, I painted these black, of course, but when I airbrushed the gray, it got in there. Okay. The front tire brake is decent enough from the wheel, but I think one of mine is mismolded. It wasn't molded very well. And then the rear wheels, yeah, you see how it curves in before it hits the wall of the wheel, so that makes painting this very easy compared to other model kits. As to why they don't just make the tire a separate piece, that's a mystery. It would just be so much easier to make the tire a separate piece so you can paint them separately. The front landing gear is part of the half here, but easy enough to paint. Little pilot hole here for a stand, I guess. And you're probably going to have to glue, putty, and sand the seam there, most likely. I just used paintbrushes to do all this silver work here. And the hook is part of this as well. It's not even a separate piece. Yeah, but still, all in all, pretty good. It's amazing this thing doesn't break off, but I guess maybe that thickness and length, it works. This is actually hollowed a little bit, so that's nice. I don't even know if this this decal is upside down, probably, but I don't know. It's hard to tell in the instructions. So, painting the figure, yeah, I used a brush. It's too difficult to mask that off. And there could even, I'm not sure if there's a decal for the instruments, maybe not, but I'm using some school glue to hold this down. And you can see, the sloppiness of my canopy painting, because there's, again, almost no surface difference, right? It's almost like one smooth piece of plastic. So how to paint these things straight without masking tape is difficult. But if you try to use masking tape, you're going to have to use a cutter to cut the shape out. And if you miscut, you're going to have paint seepage into the cut gap, so cut crease. So they're just poorly designed canopies by the Hasegawa. It's weird, to just have stuff poorly designed like this. Still an old casting. So the Phantom 2 character, I guess it's alright if it's their thing. Maybe one day I'll get around to painting it. I just I don't know why they wouldn't just skip this character and yeah, that's it. Just is unnecessary because it's not even to scale with the pilot and the airplane, right? Well, whatever. I guess it's there. So a few other airplanes. Here's an F-14 by Tiger Model. It's a much bigger airplane. Well, width-wise it's similar, but if you look at the length, right, it's a different deformation. It's just, I actually think I prefer this, because this doesn't look so much like an egg. It's slightly like an egg with that bulge there and here, but I prefer the more non-egg looking ones, but I really like the shortness of this, so it's odd, but I actually think I prefer this over this. What else do we have to show off here? Here's a F-86 Sabre for the Japanese Blue Impulse team. But this one, the wings are just too long, right? There's just no reason to have such long wings. I like the stubbiness of the F-4's wings. So they did a better job. Maybe this casting came later on. This may have been one of the early ones where it literally looks like an egg with wings attached to it. Alright, well, that's it. If you want a relatively simple model kit build, eggplanes are great because you don't have to take them seriously. If you make an error, you mess something up, who cares? It's not a realistic looking model kit. I just wish there was easier to paint the tires and the canopies of these things. They could easily mold them differently to make that so. Nevertheless, we shall see you the next time around. Thanks for watching, everyone. Bye now.